Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding. Mountain. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about if something is good, that doesn't mean more is better. Now, I know most of us are like, hey, if muscle's good, more muscle's better. And if money's good, more money's better. If health is good, more health is better. Okay, I get your point. In some cases, more is better. But when it comes to nutrition, I think some people overestimate the value of certain macros. Now, it's great to have enough cholesterol. It's great to have enough carbs in your diet. But once you have too much, you start to put on body fat. You know, you start to look more like a walrus than a person who's in shape, right? A lot of times people will be asking you questions that might give you a hint of what's happening. They'll say, hey, are you getting ready for a polar bear wrestling match anytime soon? Or the other one, hey, have you started doing sumo wrestling? You see what I'm saying? If this is starting to happen to you, then there's a good chance that you've increased your carbs or your fats too much, because we know cholesterol helps with your hormone production and we know carbs help with your energy for your workouts, but too much, of course, can cause some problems. So you'll see this a lot in certain circles of the fitness community where people will say, hey, I cut this out or I cut that out, and man, my training's doing so much better, I look better. And they're experiencing some initial benefits from lowering down said macro. Maybe they were taking in too much fat and then they lower it down a bit and then they feel a bit better. The truth is that you need some fats, you need some carbs. It's a matter of how much. So that's my point, how much? Because if you have too much, you start to become bloated. So how do you know if you're having too much? Well, how you know you're having too much is that if you're starting to get fatter. That's a great way to find out if you're having too much fat or too much carbs. Now, fat, we do need some of it, but arguably, I think some people are saying we need way more fat than we actually do. And of course, this is going to be dependent on your carbohydrate intake. If you're taking next to no carbs in and you have a fast metabolism, of course, you're going to have to take in a lot of fat. And you could have a person that needs much less fat if they're taking in a little bit of carbs in their diet or if they have a slower metabolism. So your body will show you based on what's happening of what you're doing with your diet. If you're putting on lots of fat, then chances are you need to cut back some of that fat or cut back some of that carbs if that's what you want. Unless, of course, you're going for the whole sumo thing or strongman thing, and then, you know, go nuts if you want. But I'm just saying from a bodybuilding point of view, if you don't want to be putting on lots of fat, if you start to see yourself start to put on fat over a period of time, then yeah, you need to cut the fats back. So in my circumstance, of course, as you get older, I've noticed, or as I've gotten older, I've noticed my metabolism is slowed down compared to when I was 25, of course. So what I could get away with eating when I was 25 as far as fat and carbs, it has to be quite a bit less now and still being able to maintain the same body fat level. Like I can't eat, just because I'm doing low carb doesn't mean I can eat unlimited fat, right? If I had unlimited fat, guess what? I'll still get fat. I'll just be doing it the low carb way, you know? So case in point, if you're getting fatter, you might be having too much fat. Find out what that is. Maybe it's only 60, 70 grams of fat. Maybe it's 100 grams of fat a day for you. Maybe it's 200 grams. I don't know. But find out based on what your body is telling you, because the other factors are your own individual circumstance. And if you have a slow metabolism or a fast metabolism, this is going to greatly vary how much you might need. Conduct the experiment. Find out what works. Mountain. So yeah, long story short, if you're getting fatter, lower down those fats or lower down the carbs a bit. But in my opinion, carbs are necessary, at least some of them, because they do help fuel your workouts and they do have a protein sparing effect. So don't underestimate that. But yeah, in the end, drop down those fats so that you are maintaining a decent body fat level, but not necessarily putting on body fat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, try to find the happy medium. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglandbodybuilding.com. And thanks to the patient supporters, and take care for now. Mountain. Oh yeah.